Welcome back to Christina's Keeeeny Moments. On today's episode, I show you 3 different paintings I did this week, along with some adventures in the water. Enjoy!
Are you gonna get one?
This is my first time recording my painting process, so please bear with me while I get the hang of it. These 3 paintings that I show you today are for a workshop that I'm doing at Corbin Estate Arts Centre, a kids program where we dye the fabric like I do here in my previous videos, and then we paint over it. I'm really excited to introduce to them this thing called a mark making dictionary, where we're going to walk around and make different marks based on certain movement or sounds that we see, so that they have some idea of what to paint when we get to this part of the process. It slipped. One of the best things I learned about color theory when it comes to painting is to replicate light instead of actual color. Because when we perceive color, it's because light is reflected off something and into our eyes. And because paint is pigment, paint is color, it's not light. This is why you see me mixing yellow, a little bit of yellow with white and red to make this pink. And without going into too much detail, if I just put white, it dulls the pink down from what it looked like in the tube, and adding that yellow just a tiny bit brings that brightness back up. So we're trying to never use white just on its own unless that's literally the color we want, white. And the same goes with black as well. If I want black, I'm gonna make a really dark purple or blue. It's also because when you use straight white or straight black, it just steals the attention from all the other colors on the page. You can have a much more interesting and vibrant painting if you focus on referencing the hues and the shades of the colors you want rather than the actual colors. I catch myself when I've made a really good mark or area of the painting that I just want to put it everywhere. And my lecturer in uni always caught me doing this. And when I would have a very successful painting, it's because I kept that good spot just there. It's like these orange lines with the sunset colors here. It looks great just in that spot. It would have been too much if it was everywhere. It's such a thing of just enjoying it how it is rather than riding that roller coaster until you die. That's how it becomes obvious when you've got a confident line versus an overcorrected one.
Watch out for the alligator over there.
Branching off what I talked about in the last video about variation being one of the key parts in my painting process, I find that music is a great influence. Following the rhythm or the beat or the melody of the song with my paintbrush really helps, as well as keeping a journal, something that I can bring around with me all the time, and just use a pen or a pencil to draw those lines when I listen to songs, because it's much harder to keep that variation when you've only got one medium. One of my favorite parts about painting like this is the balance between structure and spontaneity, or critical thinking and intuition. When I paint, I'm constantly switching back and forth between these two things. Before I make a move on the canvas, I stand back and decide where I want more weight or light on the painting using colors or thickness in the lines. It's almost like I can see where the line is before I actually paint it. And then once my brush touches the canvas, I just let it do whatever it wants to do, like taking my brush for a walk. When I notice repetition, that's when I pull my brush off the canvas, or I go in a different direction or different thickness or opaqueness in the line. Enjoy watching this happen with this blue line here.